In today's photo description, I will be focusing on 5 different concepts. They include focus, tone/color, time, light, and framing. The first concept I will talk about while describing this photo is the actual focus. The first thing I notice when looking at this photo is that there's a very large depth of field, meaning that everything is in focus. So, in reality, there would be no true focus or actual focal point. However, it is very easy to notice that there is a set of leading lines or trails from the actual carriage that kind of lead the actual viewer's eye to the actual focal point, which would be this horse and carriage that are uniquely placed along this sand dune. It also lies upon almost of a lower right corner, or the rule of thirds kind of line. So in that case, it kind of leads the actual viewer's eye to this corner anyways. So with the teaming of these leading lines and the actual cornerness of the area, it helps the viewer see where the photographer wants them to actually focus on, which would be this horse and carriage area. The second concept I will talk about in this photo is the tone and the color of the actual photo. The color of the photo is very black and white, as you can see. There's a very white background, and then the actual focus points in black and white. And then you also have these two little humps or hills in the background that are black, and then the actual sky itself is very white. There's no clouds or anything. So it leads to a very, tense scene almost. With the actual background being very harshly white and then the actual focus point being really black, harsh black, it also helps create that focus point where the photographer would like the viewer to see or really mainly focus on, which is, again, the horse and the carriage. It's also easy to note that the photographer might have included these two hills in the background as kind of a complement for a black to white to black kind of thing again. The lighting is very harsh. It is to notice because of the fact that the colors are so harshly white and harshly black. The next concept I will talk about is the actual time of the photo. It's very easy to notice that this was probably taken on a very clear day with lots of sunlight, maybe during the afternoon of some time, creating this very drastic white-black scenario, creating all the blacks really harsh, and the actual sand dune itself, making it very white. It's also very easy to notice that this must be some kind of still shot, considering the fact that these animals are completely in focus and there's no blur from their movement or anything. So the exposure time was probably a pretty quick one, considering that there is no movement or blurring or any kind of movement, I guess. The last concept I will talk about is framing of the photo. It's very easy to tell that the photographer really must have set up this photo considering the fact that he got what he wanted, he or she got what he wanted in focus, which is this part of the sand dune and the horse and carriage. But it's very hard to tell whether or not this could be either a sand dune or snow, or what kind of actual time of year it is, because with this black in the background, it's hard to tell if these are actual sand dunes or some kind of grassland, and then a sand dune in the middle, which would create this scenario. It wouldn't make much sense. And those are the 5 concepts I found in this photo: focus, tone and color, time, light, and framing.